Hello, I'm Tim Gordon with your weekly recap. We'll be catching you up on some of the biggest stories of the week. In Clark County, Bodycam video released on Thursday shows some of what led up to a deadly confrontation between a sheriff's deputy and a man arrested for drunk driving. We do want to warn you, the video that you're about to see includes the man expressing suicidal thoughts, and it ends with the deputy using deadly force. It is disturbing to watch, so please use discretion. Here's John Adams.
On the night of May 7th, Clark County Deputy Bryson Layton fatally stabbed 54-year-old Mark Fogle during a confrontation after Fogle was arrested on suspicion of drinking and driving. We are now getting our first look at what happened that night.
Clearly, I've been drinking. Yeah. And I ran into these cars.
Body-worn camera video that has been edited for brevity, according to the Clark County Sheriff's Office, shows deputies first coming into contact with Fogle in Vancouver. You can hear the 54-year-old admit to drinking and running into a number of parked cars.
You do not need medical attention, correct?
I do not. But as you will see, I am a CDL driver.
Okay.
And like I said, I like over.
How much have you had to drink tonight?
More than I need to.
We then see Fogle being placed under arrest before being taken to the weigh station in Ridgefield, where Deputy Layton takes Fogle into a room to perform a breath analysis test.
You don't know who you're dealing with.
That's true. So are you going to hurt me?
No, I'm not.
Okay, well, I trust you.
All right.
Fogle continues to make statements about his life being over to Deputy Layton.
What's the matter? Like I said, I'm done.
All right, we're just gonna...
I'm a dead man. You're talking dead man.
We then hear this exchange.
You know what's crazy? It's just you and me in this room.
A few seconds later, Deputy Layton asks if Fogle is threatening him, which leads to their confrontation.
And why are you saying things like that?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead and stand up. Turn around, face away from me.
Sure. Are you sure?
Yeah, turn around, face away from me right now.
Sure.
Boy, 73, I'm fighting with one.
Sure.
Give me the air, he's reaching for my gun. Mark, you're gonna get shot!
Yeah, that's what I want.
I ain't shot! Mark, get the away from me! Get the away from me, Mark!
Deputy Layton's body camera then gets turned off in the struggle. When it comes back on, we've decided to pause it because it's so graphic. The video shows deputies cut off his clothes to provide life-saving aid.
The sheriff's office said that Layton stabbed Fogle multiple times during that struggle, which we could not see because the video cuts out. The Washington Office of Independent Investigations has been assigned to this incident. Deputy Layton is now on critical incident leave, which is standard protocol. Also in Clark County this week, we heard from the mother of a son who was shot and killed by a sheriff's deputy during a traffic stop. This is after the family of Genoa Donald, who was on the autism spectrum, settled a lawsuit with the county for $3.5 million in connection with his death some 4 years ago. Court documents say Deputy Sean Boyle punched Donald in the nose after he didn't immediately get out of the car, and then a struggle ensued with the car ending up rolling forward. Boyle then shot Donald in the head. Donald's mother, Sue Zawacki, said she's grateful for the settlement, which will help take care of his children and pay for their college, but it obviously will never replace her son.
Well, the prosecutor declined to criminally prosecute this case. That does not mean there was not civil negligence. In fact, we have a settlement of $3.5 million that says there was negligence.
Even though the county pays, the person that did it is still employed, still walking around, still going home to his family.
Deputy Boyle was cleared of any wrongdoing. In a statement, Clark County said it continues to deny liability for this unfortunate incident. Well, a driver accused of sideswiping a motorcyclist on Highway 26 in Beaverton earlier this month has been charged with attempted murder. Dashcam video shows Corey Medeiros riding his motorcycle alongside an SUV driven by Samir Pizzoto Filho. You can see there Medeiros gesturing in anger, and Pizzoto Filho responds by jerking his SUV into Medeiros, sending the motorcycle sliding across 2 lanes. According to court documents, he told police that he was the victim of a hit and run the weekend before. And in court, his defense argued that there is no proof of Pizzoto Filho being a danger to the public.
By other witness accounts, both of them were going at high rates of speeds, and both of them were weaving in and out of traffic with the complaining witness.
The judge set bail at $250,000, and Pizzoto Filho has since been released. He's under house arrest and is not allowed to drive. And now to big news in the sports world. Portland Trail Blazers are officially for sale. Rip City announced the process to find a new owner is underway, something that hasn't happened since the late 80s. Now questions are swirling over who will buy the franchise, how much they'll pay, and whether they'll keep the team here in the Rose City. Evan Watson takes a look.
The Portland Trail Blazers are officially for sale, fielding offers for new ownership.
Anytime a sports team gets sold, there's buyers in the wings that our ears perk up, right? These things don't sell all that often.
Former owner Paul Allen bought the team for $70 million in 1988. He died in 2018, leaving the franchise to his family's estate with a clear directive to sell the team and donate the proceeds to philanthropy. Sportico, a sports business platform, values the Blazers at $3.6 billion, and deputy editor Eben Novy-Williams says the Blazers could sell for more than $4 billion. He pointed to recent sales of other NBA teams, like the Boston Celtics, with a reported sale price of just over $6 billion this year.
Almost certainly, the Portland Trail Blazers are going to draw interest from multiple parties at a price tag higher than $3.6 billion.
Blazer fans might fear that new owners could decide to move the team.
I think it's unlikely. And I say that because the NBA is about to begin its own expansion process. If I was a Trailblazers fan, I know it's a concern, but I wouldn't be particularly worried about this team packing up and moving.
Potentially unique to this sale, Novy-Williams says that when an estate sells a pro sports franchise, that estate is often required to pick the highest bidder.
If you or I was selling a team, we could choose who the buyer was, we could choose the price. There's a lot of different levers to pull in terms of freedom about selling. Oftentimes for estates, there is a fiduciary duty to maximize the value of the asset for the estate.
The Blazers have yet to respond to KGW's questions about potential relocation or the selection process. Novy-Williams says it could take around 10 months to select a new owner. Then, Blazer fans would learn how much the new owners choose to invest in the team's roster.
There's a whole bunch of people that have known this was coming for a while, had prepped their bids, prepped their offers, and now we're going to see a fairly vibrant process to see who's going to be the next owner of the team.
Nike founder Phil Knight offered to buy the Blazers in 2022 for $2 billion, but that bid was rejected. It's unclear who will bid for the team now that it's formally up for sale. The Allen estate said it's not selling the Seattle Seahawks NFL franchise or its stake in the Seattle Sounders MLS team at this point. Evan Watson reporting.
And Portland's largest office building has also gone up for sale. The 42-story Big Pink, officially known as the U.S. Bank Corp Tower, was completed in 1983 and renovated in 2015. Last year, its anchor tenant, U.S. Bank, declined to renew its lease and transferred employees to other metro area locations. The tower sold for $372 million a decade ago. So far, there's no minimum asking price. Now to new developments in Portland. The Rose City's Hollywood district is leaning into its namesake theater in hopes of bringing new life to the neighborhood. Joe Ranieri explains.
There's still a feeling of old Hollywood along Northeast Sandy Boulevard in Northeast Portland. But now there's a plan to make this area new again.
I'd like to see the whole Hollywood area be developed more. It seems like more could happen here. I like it as it is, but especially the movie stuff with the theater.
The Hollywood Theater is in the early stages of making this area a film district. That includes renovations to the nearly century-old theater.
I feel like this is the perfect opportunity. It's the right time. People need to get out, enjoy their neighborhoods. Everyone wants to see things revitalized now.
The executive director of the Hollywood Theater, Doug White, told me the planning process is in the early stages. In a statement, he said, "We envision a vibrant hub of community life that will draw movie lovers together from all over the region and beyond." He went on to say he wants to renovate the theater and give moviegoers an improved experience. One thing they plan on doing, taking this building from across the street on Sandy and moving Movie Madness in.
I think it's fitting. It's Hollywood. We've had the Hollywood Theater here. I mean, it's such a relic. It's really important to the spot. I think it's like the highlight of this whole district.
Currently, the store is in the Belmont neighborhood in Southeast Portland. These plans would include turning it into a world-class video rental store. It wouldn't be just movies you could rent. There would also be a special screening room and a restaurant with a bar. Grace Crane, who works down the street at Sizzle Pie, says it's not easy to get people to come through the neighborhood.
I think that Sandy can kind of be a hard place to get a lot of foot traffic because it's such a non-highway highway kind of situation.
But she's hopeful that a little old Hollywood charm with a new look could fix that. Again, this is the early stages of the planning, but the executive director of the Hollywood Theater, Doug White, told me earlier today that he's hoping to have this all done within the next 3 years. And I already saw some construction taking place across the street and what will eventually be the new site of Movie Madness. In Northeast Portland, Joe Ranieri, KGW News.
And more to come there. Well, the University of Oregon recently received a $25 million donation from local philanthropist Jordan Schnitzer, one of the largest gifts ever for the U of O. And with it comes a new name on campus. The university's School of Global Studies and Languages is now the Jordan Schnitzer School of Global Studies and Languages. The donation gives the school the ability to add more professors, academic conferences, research opportunities, and scholarships. Here's what Schnitzer had to say about why he gave this big gift.
If there's anything that'll help make a difference down the road, it's having informed young people that realize they need to wake up every day like all of us do and have that passion to make the world a better place.
Schnitzer, by the way, graduated from the U of O, class of 1973. Now here's your weather.
Hello, and thank you for streaming us on KGW Plus. I'm meteorologist Chris McGinnis in for Rod Hill today on a Friday. Let's get you right into your weekend forecast. Here it is, scattered showers, possible thunder on Saturday. More on that in a second. I'll step out of the way. We do have a chance of showers remaining in our Sunday forecast, but I can tell you Saturday is by far the wetter of the 2 days, as in maybe we see like a sprinkle on Sunday, but Saturday the showers, again, could be quite frequent. And again, even a rumble of thunder. So let's dive into that a little bit more. Here on Friday morning, as we look forward to the weekend, this is the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Not anticipating severe weather, but everywhere in this green shading, which pretty much includes the Cascade Crest and points east. So getting out towards Bend and Baker City, Burns, and up towards Spokane and down towards Klamath Falls, has the risk of some thunderstorms tomorrow. That's Saturday. What is not explicitly outlined is any thunderstorm threat in the Willamette Valley in the I-5 corridor tomorrow. I bring that up because while most of the activity is probably centered east of the Cascades, there is at least the outside chance that if we poke a few holes in the cloud cover tomorrow, we could destabilize things enough to bring us a rumble of thunder, which in turn makes the showers even heavier, right? Is just a juicier, more active air mass. All right, let's go ahead and set things up for you here. Our Friday, pretty cloudy here for the west side of the state. As I roll the clock into the wee hours of Saturday morning, it looks like one round of showers works its way on through. That's the leading edge of our next weather maker. And that's, in fact, I think what the Storm Prediction Center is kind of highlighting as the leading edge of the instability, which quickly works its way east of the Cascades by mid-morning tomorrow. Watch this, though. As I roll the clock on Futurecast, our modeling continues to pepper the area with frequent showers. There's not a lot of breaks in the cloud cover on this specific run, but there have been other runs where we do see some breaks in the clouds. And what that does is allow the sunshine to heat the ground more into a cold atmosphere. That creates greater instability, which in turn would make these showers more intense. And with the freezing level being as low as they are, down around 5,000 feet or so, it doesn't take much to start getting ice crystal formation. And with that, lightning and thunder, right? So all of that's to say is that Saturday could wind up being an active day. It's not, there's no overwhelming sign of that, but at least the chance is there. Here's Futurecast indicating a few holes in the cloud cover late Saturday afternoon. And with the sun setting not until 8:30 now, we could again have that shower threat continuing, that frequent shower threat continuing well into the 8-9 o'clock hour on Saturday. Fast forwarding into Sunday, we're on the back side of that system, less moisture, but still cold air aloft. So as we poke some holes in the cloud cover, once again, a couple of very light rain showers could pop up. But the point is that Saturday is for sure the wetter of the 2 days for our weekend. Rainfall potential. So this is kind of interesting. One, our modeling has backed off in the last couple of runs of how much overall rainfall potential there is in the I-5 corridor. You see a general 1 to 2/10 of an inch of rain, more at the coast, possibly upwards of 4/10 of an inch in Astoria. And then elevated amounts in the Cascades, driven in part by the lift that the Cascade Mountains produce. So a couple things to point out here. The higher amounts would be also in locations that possibly see thunderstorms. So there is that. Also in the Cascades, snow levels generally around 5,000 feet or so this weekend. Let's point that out. Saturday, they're 5,500 feet. Saturday night, 5,000. And then as the moisture is pulling out, the snow level gets to as low as 4,000 feet, pass level, but not anticipating any major travel concerns if you're heading to and from Central Oregon over the Cascade Passes. You may encounter some wet snowflakes from time to time, but otherwise driving should be okay. All right, it has been a cool couple of days. In fact, we haven't had a 70 in our 7-day forecast in a while. I do have some later next week, and I wanted to point this out. This is the outlook from the Climate Prediction Center for May 23rd through the 29th. So, of course, that takes us into next weekend, which is the unofficial start of summer and the Memorial Day holiday weekend. And you can see that there is some hedge towards above average temperatures returning. So not only are we talking normal, by the way, this time of the year is about 70. Not only that, but we may be on the plus side of that as we go into next weekend. And let me show you one more as I'm an advocate here, stating my case for warmer weather. This is the GFS, and we're looking at the upper level weather pattern here. We'll stop it next Saturday, so a week from tomorrow. We start to see the air mass warming and the heights getting higher, the high pressure ridging building over the four corners, and then it kind of peaks up over the Pacific Northwest on Sunday and Memorial Day Monday. So if this holds true, this could be some of the warmest air that we've seen so far this year. Remember, we've already been to about 85 at least once so far this month. So weather at least that warm is maybe in the cards for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. I say maybe because you also see this very sharp dip in the air mass out over the Gulf of Alaska. There are some models that actually bring that a little closer. So you can see we're right on the edge, and we'll watch that. Still several days away, but I wanted to point that out as we start making plans for maybe next weekend. All right, our Friday today is just cloudy. Visible satellite shows that, and the temperatures are really going to struggle today. Futurecast likes us getting to about 64, 60, low to mid 60s, pretty common up and down the I-5 corridor. The Dow's getting up to 70, Arlington 71. There will be a nice west breeze through the gorge and the east gorge today, and you folks will see some sun, so that would help to bring in some warmer temperatures for you folks. 64 today. Again, frequent showers on Saturday, and we have Saturday highlighted as a KGW weather impact alert day. While I'm not anticipating any severe weather at all, there is at least the possibility of a rumble of thunder, and with that would come some pretty heavy showers, right? So for everyone out at track meets and graduations and softball games, just be aware that Saturday is potentially an active weather day. I still have some spotty showers lingering on Sunday and cool with daytime highs, again, right around 63. As we mentioned, the normal high this time of year is about 70. There's another weather system that scoots through here on Monday or Monday afternoon, bringing at least the chance of some showers. Again, none of this rain looks terribly heavy. And then maybe the middle of next week, another chance of rain. But altogether, we could use some rain, especially as we're eyeing the forecast for next weekend and the potential of a couple days of some warm to hot weather. Again, all of that's still a ways out, but something to keep in mind as we look at our kind of cool and wettish weekend forecast. And that is your weather and your Weather Plus on a Friday morning. Make it a good one.
Thanks to Chris for all that, and that is a wrap on your weekly recap. I'm Tim Gordon. Remember, you can catch up on the latest headlines anytime on KGW.com, your KGW app, or our YouTube channel.